It's hard admitting that you're wrong about something you're passionate about, but being a mature adult is all about learning and growing and recognizing when you've made a mistake. I'm proud of all the podcast episodes I've made, except for one.
I missed the mark with that one.
Haters looking at me crazy. Cause I'm driving around Miss Daisy. And in college I was lazy.
You've been very defensive lately.
But they were coming for my baby. Well, the podcast looking tasty and we getting money lately. Sorry?
Today is Friday, December 10th, 2021. It's 3:08 p.m. and whatever the opposite of writer's block is what I have. I actually have too many ideas. There's so many things I want to get into. You never know when the Black Lives Matter off season starts. It just does someday. It's like everybody cares about black people when they're getting shot by the police. And then if the media isn't telling them, hey, look at this black person that this bad thing happened to, then all of a sudden all the hashtags disappear. And like, I really wanted to go through and do this search where I could find out like if people were searching Black Lives Matter less or if people were just reporting on it less. Do you guys remember in the summer of 2020, actually all of 2020, when, the racial reckoning stuff was happening and Black Lives Matter just got tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in donations. And it's just crazy because like, where did all that money go? Like my black life didn't get any of that. So like where's the money? Where's the money?
Where is it?
Where is it? I don't know what's going on.
Where is it?
Lil Dicky. Oh my God, dude. Lil Dicky, the so-called professional rapper part 3. I've been doing a lot with music and stuff lately. I think I might drop a 6-minute diss track that might just break the internet or something.
It won't.
I have no idea. I've been thinking about Black Lives Matter a lot because, my black life and it mattering and stuff. I've been thinking about Lil Dicky and rap and stuff a lot. Drake dropped out of a Grammy consideration. Like he withdrew all of his stuff and then he did this concert with Kanye, and it's just very strange because I thought they just had beef, but maybe it's just like for industry stuff. Maybe they were just beefing in order to boost the sales for both of their albums. I don't know. Drake fell off. Whatever. That's a different episode. Spice and I just started watching Stranger Things, and
Great
every
show.
time I see a scene with Millie Bobby Brown, I just think about the fact that Drake was texting her, and why on earth was he texting her?
Why?
There's just too much going on in the world right now. It's hard to keep up with everything. You guys remember last week when I tried to talk about the Waukesha massacre where that guy ran over 70 people and killed at least 6 or 7 and literally nobody's talking about it. And by nobody talking about it, I mean, like I did this poll with like 100 people I was giving Lyft rides to, and nobody knew what I was talking about, which is extremely strange because everybody was talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. There are still people that think that Kyle Rittenhouse was like a white supremacist terrorist, which is crazy because he only killed white people and he only killed people that were attacking him. There are people that think that he crossed state lines with a weapon. It literally never happened. I wanted to get into all that. The gaslighting of media. I lost faith in media in November of 2015 when Donald Trump won the election and Rachel Maddow started crying on the news and my news professor was like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that. And then I realized how much the media was emotionally invested in like politics and then all these agendas they had. And there was this point in the beginning of the pandemic, like at the height of it, where George Floyd was just killed and there was these marches. And I remember they brought this expert on CNN to say that, oh, racism is killing more people than COVID. So it's okay if you march, even though in hindsight, like, wow, 700, 800,000 people died from COVID just in the United States. So how many people has racism killed? I don't know. I lost count.
Get some water.
Probably less than, I don't know, all of those COVID deaths. The thing about COVID is I've been meaning to make this episode where I talk about, how everyone wants to say, follow the science. And it's like, if you say anything that's against the mainstream agenda, then suddenly you're like a science denier. But that's crazy because I got 2 shots. I just don't want a third one because if I get a third one, they're going to say, oh, just one more.
Boost me harder,
and it's like
Daddy.
I originally got the vaccine because I wanted to just take the mask off. And then they were like, bait and switch. Gotcha, bitch. And Joe Biden was lying, but I don't even know if he knows that he's lying. I don't know who's in charge. It's very strange that Joe Biden essentially has dementia. He just can't function very well, and everybody's acting like everything's okay, but nobody likes Kamala Harris, so we don't know if she can be president because she's just as unlikable, if not more than him. People are still freaking out about Trump and January 6th. I was talking to this girl like a week or two ago, and she was like, I don't know, we were just talking about the state of America, as you do when you're in a car. And I was like, I feel like America's generally treated me pretty well. Things could always be better, but I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm in love, my cats eat, my car runs, whatever. And she's like, well, when you have a leader of the free world who's inciting a coup, ooh. And I'm like, why are we still talking about that thing that happened on January 6th? Literally one person died, and according to you, that was one of the bad people that was storming the Capitol. What about the 13 Marines that died in Afghanistan? That didn't get much coverage. What about us pulling out of Afghanistan at all, and leaving billions of dollars of military equipment for the bad guys, the really, really bad guys? There's just so much going on. And speaking of the Black Lives Matter thing, it's just crazy that we only talk about Black Lives Mattering when it's the cops killing them. But if you look up any study, if you actually look for any statistics on it, the number of unarmed black people that are shot by the police is shockingly low. It's definitely less than 100. Probably no more than a few dozen.
Per
year.
year.
I'm not fact checking it right now, but the point is, the true danger to black people it's in most of these inner cities where there's actually a lack of police presence, and there's all this black on black crime, but nobody cares about them. No hashtags for them. There are all these gun battles with these gangs, and people shoot each other, and nobody gets charged because they're like, oh, well, they're both shooting at each other. Nobody's going to press charges, so we don't need to arrest anyone. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Everything that's going on in the White House freaks me out. I don't understand. There's Jen Psaki got COVID. She's the White House press secretary or whatever. Does that mean she's a bad person? Did she not wear a mask enough? Was she not vaccinated? The whole thing with the vaccine altogether is just weird. It's when does it end? I feel like we're going to be in this pandemic for literally ever. Who decides when it's over? Is it the government? Is it the media? What's going on? I just don't understand. When is it over? When is it finally going to be over?
Never.
Jeez, dude. I just feel like I'm in this endless sea of debt. I'm always going to owe everybody something. And we're not just talking about bills or whatever. I mentioned briefly that I got this $400 ticket. And then I obviously had to get new tags because I was supposed to get them in April. But now I just got them. And it's I don't know. Why is that $80? It only took 5 minutes, and I would have just got it months ago. I could have avoided that $400 ticket. That's super annoying, but it's all relative. It's all relative. There's this crack in my windshield. Just
Crack in my windshield. I'm pissed off.
keeps getting bigger and bigger, and everybody's like, oh, you should fix it. 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 Yeah, well, you want to just give me $300 because that's how much it costs to fix it. I don't just have $300 laying around. Jesus
Christ.
I just there's. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? You wouldn't believe the amount of time that I've spent recording here, and then I just delete it all. And I talked to my brother about this thing, killing your darling. It's cool to
Cool?
Well, not necessarily it's cool. It's extremely essential when you're creating any type of art. If you're stuck on an idea, you can't just continue to try to force something to work. Sometimes you have to kill it, even though you might love it. And I do that all the time when I'm creating songs because I have this mantra where it's it's not about being right. It's about getting it right. It's just about getting it right. And all that matters is that it sounds right when the public is consuming it. It's not necessarily about, you having a great idea and it being perfectly executed on the first attempt, because that's just not how the world works. There's so many ideas that I have for the show and I want to expand on it, but I don't know if I should upload more times a week. Would that solve the problem? But I'm already working so much just to, pay all these people and all these things off that I owe.
Dude, that's
I don't
not
know.
nice.
I just it's all relative. It's all perspective, because there was this guy that I was talking to, and he said that the first hour or two of work is just him paying for the Lyft ride to get there. And I was like, that's a really depressing way to look at it. You just have to, I would think about it you just have to spend money to make money. Speaking of jobs, I've been convincing people to, every once in a while, I just convince somebody to quit their job. Every once in a while, it'll be a there was a 17-year-old kid
No one was going to fact check
I picked
you.
up. And we were on our way to his job at McDonald's, and he was complaining to me about how much the job sucks. And I was like, dude, just quit. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, just quit your job. It doesn't matter. The skills that you use at that McDonald's, you could use at a Burger King or a Checkers or a Wendy's or wherever. And he's like, what about my resume? I'm like, how long have you been working there? He's like, 4 months. I'm like, dude, leave a gap in your resume. You're 17. It doesn't matter. Burger King isn't going to care if you were at McDonald's for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. Just leave. Speaking of people quitting their jobs, literally 1.5 to 2.5 times a month, I will pick up somebody from Amazon that just quit their job. They just don't care. I picked up somebody and I'm like, hey, it's 2:37 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. It's a weird time to get picked up from Amazon. He's like, yeah, I just quit, man. Fuck that place. I hate that job. I hate the boss, whatever. And I'm like, oh. It's just crazy to me that people get this job at Amazon. Everybody knows exactly what it's going to be like. The type of labor. The type of backbreaking labor it's going to be. That you have to meet these certain quotas. That there are all these expectations, and people still do it, and then they still quit. But I think there's this thing where They're offering $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 signing bonuses because their retention rate is so bad and they're just trying to get people to stay there. But people sign on, they get the job, they go through orientation, get paid training, and then they stay long enough to get the bonus and then they quit. You think that would be like a bigger issue? You think that would be like a bigger news story?
Stop that.
What is it?
What are you doing in here? What are you doing in here?
I was just doing the podcast. I was just like going on like a rant type thing.
Shut the fuck up. No one cares. All right?
I'm sorry.
I've been in that other room.
I didn't know.
Now you know. Oh my God.
I'm
Shut the fuck.
Thank you for joining me in Derapy today. New sessions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're officially sponsored by Get Upside. Free cash back on gas or whatever else you buy. Link in the description. Use code AFF20. Yeah. I'm the hardest worker I know. Putting all this work, not knowing if I'm ever gonna blow. Getting redundant, I know. Talking about grinding, man, we get it. Keep working, it'll show. I got a friend named Kenzie, and I love her, but she called it a hobby. That did the opposite of stop me. 5'6", but Derapy still will grow. Babe said take a day off. I say no way. Never come off the clock. Not throwing away my shot. Won't get blocked. On the way to the top. Gotta take it up a notch. Turn my mic up. Chiller, you get popped. No time to talk shop. I got things to do. I'm on the go. Man, I gotta take it slow. Begging me to switch the flow. I've been putting hours in. I'm a nerd about the show. You've been slacking and it shows. I'm obsessed, not too ashamed. I'm the master of this game. Y'all are dragging, I am slaying. I'm just saying I'm going in. No, I'm not tiptoeing in. Closer than I ever thought I'd be, and I'm not blowing it. 7 months and 90 episodes I did for free. All produced by Derek B. Done with all that charity. It's season. Yeah. 11 years old, getting bullied about the glasses. I used to be afraid to get caught lacking between the classes. And in high school, I was trying to impress the girls and they were laughing. But you gotta remember who's laughing with you and who's laughing. Wait, talking about being popular back in grade school, that's lame as hell. If I ever do it again, then I swear to God, just kick my tail. I should not be swearing. My mom's a God-fearing woman and I fear the man upstairs too, but he's cool.